Hi Aries, welcome to BohoMystic. My name is Mary Nelly and we're going to do a reading for you guys for the remainder of the month. We're in the month of June 2025, but it is a timeless reading. I normally don't date my readings period because they're meant to find you when they find you. But all right, let's start. All right, so I pre-shuffled a lot of decks. I'm not sure we're going to get to all of them. I'm just going to see what comes out. I did do a meditation beforehand and just to see what was coming through, and it was really interesting. So before even I sat down and I pre-shuffled, I did just do my incense and just getting myself into the zone, and I had Isis come through, and as in this little tiny statuette. So this is what was in my mind's eye. And in my pre-shuffle, I did pre-shuffle before setting my intentions. I had a few cards fall out. So I had a card that was entitled Frost, and that came out, and I heard, you're thawing out. So is your fire coming back, Aries? So then I pulled out the Isis deck because I thought I have to do that. Of course, she's coming through, and there's just, I'll show you the cards when I do the top down. Just so much fire in those pictures. So definitely, I think it gets better, like really good in my meditation. So I also had the Six of Swords come out. I had the Seven of Pentacles, and in this other clarifying deck, I had the Observer come out and the Weaver come out. So all I saw was Observer to becoming the Weaver, thawing out, right? And the picture of that person also, you can just see the eyes, and it looks like they're cold. Yeah, so I pulled out for me, a warm, fiery deck, which features dragons and a lot of fire. And I love the way the fire suit is depicted in this deck. It's absolutely beautiful. I remember to tell you who it's by. I know it's from a fellow YouTuber. Everybody knows her from Truth and Story, and it's her tarot deck. It's so lovely. And the meditation was amazing. So the first thing, as I'm doing my intentions, literally just comes out a skull. And so my meditation is like in the darkness, in the cosmos, amongst the stars, the little minute, little barely visible lights. So a skull comes out to me. And so I'm thinking, oh, like death card, there's definitely like a rebirth going on, some kind of transformation. And this is really freaky. So then all of a sudden this skull, I mean, it's a skull, it's not a person's head or anything, it's truly a skull. The skull then is on what I thought was like a lazy Susan. And then I thought, oh, it's a potter's wheel, right? And it starts spinning. And then I see hands on the skull and molding it, and the skull's becoming more clay-like, and it spins really, really, really fast. And then I'm just reading here. Then it literally, I don't want to miss everything. So then this skull and this person's hands sort of like molds it into like a peak, and that becomes a volcano, and the hands are gone, and it's then a spewing, an erupting volcano. And it's glorious, just all this fire and lava just coming out of it. And it didn't have any negative or dark feelings for it. It was just like a breakthrough, just finally, coming forth. And all I could think of is how being a fire sign, how amazing that would feel to let yourself just truly become what you are. And it was so beautiful, and it felt so immense. And then that became a mountain, like essentially the actual volcano was no longer spewing and erupting. It then had just flames and fire all the way up and down the mountain, and it was beautiful. It was so awesome. It was probably one of the most interesting meditations, visions I've had, and it was just, the feeling was so emotionally satisfying. Yeah, it was beautiful. So I don't know what's going on with you guys. Let's get to the bottom of it. I'm going to start pulling some cards. I'm going to try doing the top, to look from the top down. You guys have to bear with me. This is all new to me, so I'm doing the best I can. We'll get through it together. So just, if you like the video at the end and you resonate with it, I would love to hear how it resonates. You don't have to get too personal. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, share it with another Aries or another fire sign maybe. Yeah, so let's get on to the video. Bye. Intense, beautiful, and satisfying. That's what you guys are, Aries. I love it. All right, let's start with some oracle cards. This is the Isis deck. Just the color. I mean, look at that fire. It's so beautiful. All right. One card, please, for Aries. What are we looking at for the remainder of the month of June, or for the remainder of the month, please? Now to the end of the month. All right, you have 2. All right. I will take them. There's no hurry. No hurry. Let's see where I'm going to put this. Sorry about that. Let's see. What is it we should be focusing on for the remainder of the month? One card, please. All right, so we're going to do them this way. I'm really particular on the order. How they come out. We have reading on the bottom of the deck. We had High Priestess for the bottom of the Isis deck. Let's see. I'm going to use that Weather deck and see what comes out. Your pre-shuffle, the Frost card came out. One card, please, for Aries. Everything that's going on now. Let's see what Aries is up to. What are you guys feeling? What can you latch on to for the rest of the month? What can you work on? What's the environment going to be like? That's way too many. One card, please. One card, please, for Aries. Tide. All right. Bottom of the deck is Sundog. It's awesome. All right. With the tarot, we're going to do a simple spread, but we will have these oracle cards to guide us and give us a better picture of what's going on. One card, please, for Aries. Bottom of the deck, 5th dimension for career and money. Essentially, when I start doing your monthlies, I'd like to be able to tap into relationships, your love relationship, maybe one on that and one on your career, and see what comes out. So why not do it now? So this is our first one together, Aries. First full video. Aries, career and finance, please. All right, we have one card here. We have tree underneath the deck. financial growth coming to fruition, abundance. All right. Let's get a number card. Change. 5. We'll see what that says. We have the number 1 underneath the deck. Courage. Unease may saturate your energy, but stand strong as it passes. These feelings are not permanent, but the dream remains. All right, a couple more. Let's get a love affirmation. Represent your relationships. All right, we have vulnerability on the bottom. Share your fears and insecurities to create trust and understanding. I unveil my true self so we may build an unbreakable bond. That's beautiful. This is a majors and court card deck. So a little bit like the After Tarot, where they have an entire set of majors along with the court cards, and then they have an after majors and court cards only. It's really interesting. And I think this will give us an idea of, are you in something or going through something? All right. Wow, you have 3 on these. Okay. And what's the bottom of this deck? Strength. Look at that strength card. Definitely after. Okay. Are you at your wit's end? Interesting. Have you been frozen in fear or inaction? Because that erupting volcano felt like the salve that you needed. Is it you finally taking a stand or deciding to help yourself and move forward, or put an end to a situation that you're not happy with right now? All right, I'm gonna also pick some charms here. I have some witches runes in here. I also have just your Nordic runes. I also have astrology dice in here. Let's see what comes up. Rado. Ooh, and Jupiter. All right. So interesting. Let's put these over here. Anything else that calls to me? I think we're good to start with that. Okay, I'm gonna pull out your tarot. I'm just gonna lay them down. That's your current energy. It's where you are right now. Influencing your past. Going forward for the rest of the month, what are we looking at happening? What's the purpose of this reading? How are you feeling regarding what's happening to you? Advice and outcome. Bottom of the deck, Guardian of the North. That's the King of Swords. Okay. I'm going to lay these first and take a look at them. So your first Isis oracle states, proper burial for freedom. There is nothing to be gained and everything to be lost by trying to hold on to that which no longer serves us. Osiris, Lord of the Dead, guides you now to release that which no longer needs to be part of your life so that you may be free. Interesting. Of course, we know Isis regenerated Osiris, but she is also known to help that transition through death and through the underworld also. She is with you. You definitely have her with you, guiding you, helping you be free of what is consuming you or what has held you in place. We have portal of light. It is only this physical reality that is bound by time and space. You are a conscious being on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space. You will not become ungrounded through such spiritual work. You are not leaving your earthly connections behind. You are merely adding to it. You are a portal of light. Oh, look at the way that she is reaching out to you. It's her protection of you and her reaching out. That's just amazing. Into what looks like the firestorm behind her, the fire portal. Interesting, huh? Let's see again, make sure you can see this in frame for now. Practice. You have, as we said before, tide. You have hallucination. Let yourself imagine. That's what I'm hearing with that. What can be instead of what is. For your career and money card, we have heart, emotional spending, joint finances being supported. Careers that would include your heart space would be counselor, guide, having a job that you love. Number 5, receiving. Be open to experiencing what may come. Change, repetition, happiness, sadness, everything is a gift. And that's under tide. Your love affirmation is to trust. Be steadfast in your actions to gradually build trust. With trust, we lay the strongest foundation for love to flourish. All right, these are the ones. So we have the After Magician. Again, this is not the After Tarot. This is another one. I will verify what it's called and put it in the information bar. So we have him. He looks happy. He looks smug. I mean, he looks happy with himself. He looks tired. Queen of Swords, and then you have the King of Swords on the bottom of the deck of the tarot. This is her before. And Judgment. This is an after one where everyone's rejoicing and they're actually starting again with the lotus flower. And they see the new beginning in front of them. Okay. We will get back to those. So going over here, we have the Rado rune and we have Jupiter. Rado is a journey. It's your journey. It's your path. It's a change that's coming up in your journey. It can be a physical change, you know, in the 3D, or it can be a spiritual change in your journey. But I think your road through your manifestations. I think that you have been waiting for your manifestation to come in. And I think that with Jupiter here, with the expansion of Jupiter and its benevolence, I think that you're going to be happy. And I think that it's telling you and foretelling that the changes that are coming in have been set in motion a long time ago and are going to present themselves in a way where they're going to be of greatest benefit for you. I think this may be even career related. Even though we got the heart for the career, I really do feel like you've been disillusioned potentially with what's been going on, or how stagnant your life has been. Again, with that frost card, and what I heard is about thawing out, right? A fire sign that needs to thaw out. Maybe you've been going through the motions and just practicing, like just the monotony of everyday life and putting in the hours and putting in the work. Because you look tired. But I think that you're going to be receiving. You need to trust that the work that you've put in is coming. It's like you're waiting in stasis to see what's coming. What success, what rewards are coming your way. So let's take a look at your tarot. So we're looking at for your current energy and where you are right now as the caretaker of the North. Okay. Yeah, you've been in your head. The Queen of Swords. This is caretaker of the North, the Queen of Swords. You are the Queen of Swords, which came out over here also. You have been tallying up everything that you've done, working within the confines and rules and structures that you have found yourself, even if it's gone against your own nature, I think, and potentially working or doing something that you are not happy with or that you do not love, but that you can see yourself potentially loving in the future, but it just hasn't softened yet into that type of emotion for you, in my opinion. And you have been doing the everyday, day in, day out work and have been feeling maybe less passionate than you normally do when it comes to the tasks that you take on. You may usually take on things that you're passionate about, that sparks your creativity, that sparks your inner fire. And I know I'm using the word fire a lot, but I feel like that's what's been missing from you in the recent past. So let's just take a look. What's been influencing you becoming and being at this moment the Queen of Swords? The 6 in the West. And that's 6 of Pentacles. So you have potentially been given this opportunity And you have done the best that you can with whatever opportunity you've been given. Even if it has not, I don't know, sparked that inner fire, that inner happiness, that inner satisfaction that you would like, but you have done the best that you can with it. And that you know if you just hold on a little longer, it will transform into something better and bigger and better for you. So let's take a look at your past. The Lovers. Yeah. This is a choice that you made to apply and dedicate and commit yourself to. And if this is your job, or if this is career related, or with the Love card we have, be steadfast in your actions and to gradually build trust. If this is a relationship, I mean, we have over here on the bottom of the deck, we had High Priestess, right, with the Isis deck too. If this is a relationship, it's potentially a relationship that you see and feel like it can grow into something very fulfilling, but you may not feel all the feels right now, or it's a friendship that maybe turn into a relationship, a romantic relationship, and you had your doubts about potentially being into the other person, potentially even as much as they are into you, or can this be a passionate love affair when you've only felt friendship for this person, but this person potentially brings out the best in you. They have engendered trust in you. They have made you feel special and desired and wanted, and you may have realized that those are really important things in a relationship, and sometimes those are the roots that become, right, that become that amazing tree that stands the test of time. And I think that you potentially have thrown your head in a ring into a relationship that necessarily was not born out of intense passion or desire, but more so out of your head, not your heart. And you have been working on it so hard and trusted your intuition that it may become that spark, that passion. It may become that volcano. Like you have molded whatever it is that you're dealing with into that volcano, where it then erupts into something very passionate and life-bringing. This is an interesting one. Wow, it's taking a turn, I didn't think. All right, so what is the reason for this, or what's going to be happening? All right, you're going to become the Spirit of the West. Spirit of the West is the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. You started something new that was more based on a decision head over heart. And you have been practicing. You have here, what else do we have here? We have, I'll get back to the sun dog. Reading. You have been learning as the Page of Pentacles. You have endeavored on a journey, potentially based on a decision or feelings or gut feelings, or for reasons that you normally would not have. But you have not, like, you had the courage to do it. You put yourself out there, potentially in uncomfortable situations that you're not used to do, like putting yourself into. And you practice and you learned because you wanted this new beginning. You've had to pay your dues, right? With the exhaustion of all that work. And you have been waiting, right? You look at this tide card. It's small little pools. You've been waiting for that tide to come in. So I'm assuming in those little pools, there's fish and there's other wildlife that are stuck in those little pools. And they're waiting for the tide to come and and raise the water level so that they can escape from these areas. And I feel like you have done all the work and you are in one of these pools waiting for your reward, waiting for that helping hand out of here, out of that little pool, so that you, so that it can trigger happiness in a way that's more familiar to you, more familiar to your personality, more familiar to the way that you live your life. So let's see what we're looking at here. Let's see, what are your thoughts and feelings about what's been going on and what the reason is? Guardian of the East. That's the King of Cups. I think that you have been holding your own when it comes to emotions. I think that you did not allow your emotional ups and downs or doubts about what you have taken on to self-sabotage. You have stayed at equilibrium with your focus on being, as your Queen of Swords and the King of Swords over here, balancing that I need to stay focused, I need to balance and be diplomatic in whatever choice that I made. I think that you have steadied yourself and have really managed to not let your doubts and fears creep in, whatever this is. I think you've been under stress. I think you have had a lot of self-doubt. But I think that your intuition has really been telling you this is the right thing for you. Like, it's going to pay off. Sometimes we have to do something different in a different way to get a different result. Well, that's what you want to do, right? So you've done something different. You have done something different. You have behaved differently than you normally would. You have made choices based on different criteria. And you are now ready and waiting, right? You have been frozen. You have waited. You have waited to finally see your growth, either if it's within your career, your growth in your career, the success in your career, if it's a relationship that started out for different reasons, you now find yourself thinking about that person in a different way. You now see yourself desiring that person in a different way. And you now see a relationship that you have always dreamed of blossom right in front of your eyes. All right, let's see what your advice is. Ace of the South. That's your Ace of Wands. There's your fire. So it's time for you to go back home in your suit, in your element. You've put in the hard work. You've paid your dues. You have done the hard work You have done the sometimes unfulfilling aspects of your job that everybody has to do. Like, you paid your dues. Now it's time to let your, I was going to say freak flag fly, but if that works for you, then yeah. It's time for you to let your volcano erupt in a healthy way. I don't see this as where you're, throwing in the towel. And no, this is you getting your just desserts. This is you getting what you worked so hard for and what you sacrificed for. It's like a person who has a course or has a training for, 2 months or 6 months, or they're on probation, they have a probationary period at a job or a company, or they're like, you have to, it's not that you're not yourself, but you are working at peak efficiency, right? With the King and Queen of Swords. You have made sure that you crossed every T, you dotted every I, because you really want what's at the end of that line, right? What's at the end of that rainbow. And the end of the rainbow is only attainable by all the hard work and perseverance. You have been so protected. I mean, Isis is telling you, you have gone through the hellfires and back. You have gone through the afterlife. You're going through a rebirth. Maybe you put yourself and got your last few, this is just coming to me. Maybe you got your last few credits so that you can get your degree in order for you to get that promotion or that raise in pay that automatically comes with that. Or you got certified to do something and now it was so exhausting and daunting, but you did it and you worked overtime and you didn't have a moment for yourself. And you kept seeing, like, you couldn't see the sun, you could see the rainbow around the sun, right? The sun dog. You knew the sun was there behind those clouds. It was like calling to you, saying, hey, I'm here. And you knew it was there. And you were being blinded by everything else, but you just kept going because you knew it was there. You were going to attain this no matter what. And your intuition with the High Priestess, in the 5th dimension, meaning you were tapped into some aspect of yourself, maybe your higher self, pushing you and prodding you and saying, this is right. The path that you're on is the right one. Even if it's hard, you're almost there. You're almost there. Right? Look at what this number 5 said. Be open to experiencing what may come. Change, repetition, happiness, sadness. I'll add in there exhaustion. Drudgery sometimes. Like, everything is a gift because it's all going to give you what you set out to get, right? What you set out to get is what's coming your way. With judgment, you are going to be receiving. You are that lotus. You have pushed yourself up through the mud to blossom, to get that award, that reward in your favor, that accomplishment, and that your judgment was sound in doing whatever this is. And it's applauding you. It's calling you now to the finish line. It's calling you now to that finish line. And let's see what your outcome is for the rest of the month, at the end of the month. Spirit of the North. And that's the Ace of Swords. Yeah, you're going to get that truth, that clarity, that news. You're going to see all that hard work. You're going to see and understand what it was all for. Two aces. Page of Pentacles. You are definitely starting something new. You are going to be graduating. You are going to be promoted. Your relationship is going to go to the next level. It's going to be deeper and have those aspects that you wanted it to originally have. And I think with this, this Strength card where she turned her back to the lion and the lion de-evolved, like evolved back to being a lion. I think this was, you were not afraid, after all your strength in this, right? And all your hard work and your courage in this, you were not afraid to turn around and not look back. He's doing what he needs to do because he's a lion. She is completely okay doing what she is doing there. I would say even one step further, she is trusting the work that she's done. And maybe this time, in this adage of strength, you are both lion and person. Maybe it's time for you to not be this, what you would consider maybe in a weaker, lesser position, a person who's had to hide their light or hide their fire or just temper your fire for a bit until you achieved whatever this is. Maybe it's now time for you to let the lion out. Maybe it's time for you to let the lion out. You know what? Let's get a card on this outcome of Spirit of the North. 10 in the West. It's 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is, 10 of Pentacles. That's your family, legacy, everything that you've worked hard for, you're going to see the fruits of. It's going to far outlast you. If it's that relationship, it's going to become that tree, right? From what I said before, I believe I said that. If it's your career, you're going to, this hard work and effort that you put in is going to outlast even you. It's going to be, it is the first step, or it is a necessary step for you to achieve your goals, your financial goals. Your goal is to provide for not only yourself, but your family, your lifestyle, your home. It's an exaltation of the Pentacles. You will be more comfortable and have the success finally, after all your hard work. That advice of the Ace of Wands, I think it's time for you to let that fire come through, absorb it, reignite your flame. This is the one that the deck was breaking into. 2 in the West, 2 of Pentacles, all that juggling, all that expert maneuvering and strategizing and handling of everything that came your way. You did it so expertly as the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. You did it so expertly. That is why you're going to receive and be and envision and see how you're going to have your 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, this definitely could be graduating, getting that certificate, getting that degree, all in order for you to get the money, the title, the promotion, to be eligible for a promotion or another program. Like you did something here, you buckled down and did something in order to get what you want to get. Like in order for you to achieve a dream that you set in motion a long time ago with that Magician. And you're going to be, and you've trusted in yourself. You have been guided and protected. It is your time. Look at this. It is your turn to now go shine. Go through that portal. Oh, I just said that and I forgot it was called Portal of Light. Go through that portal of light. You are being called into this ceremony, into this, I don't know, you're being called into this success. I think that by the end of June, you are going to feel tired, but feel good and feel like it was all worth it. And if it is a relationship, I think that your relationship is going to feel and look different, and you're going to feel so good that you took a chance on a relationship that started out differently than you normally would have accepted in the past. And that friend, that person that necessarily didn't meet all your qualifications turns out to be exactly what you needed, who you need. You can't imagine yourself without that person today. And if that's the case, that's exciting. And I wish you all the luck in the world for that. And I wish you luck and congratulations on this. This is exciting. All right, that's for the rest of the month. I hope it resonates. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys liked the video, I would really appreciate if you could like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Bye.